I also don't like Bratz. I'm more of a Barbie person. We're recording.
Ah,
No,
we were talking about
I
fun,
like
not weird
I
stuff.
like I like brats. They usually go good with Cheese Whiz, and like you ever bought one of those rolls
Oh,
with like all the custard
Wow.
yeah.
seeds on it?
Wow.
Yeah.
I like my cheese whiz inside my brats. You know what I'm saying?
I,
No,
I,
like when they put
Terrible,
it in, like the
nasty,
cheddar
not
wurst. Cheddar
cool.
wurst.
like I know that like we in the United States have like a good working relationship with Bratz. The people from the United Kingdom are they they're usually pretty like we got a good rapport.
Tom, have I told you like some of the like I ran right over that joke, which is exactly what it deserved. But uh, Tom, have I ever told you like some of the like linguistic quirks that have evolved just in my apartment?
No, no, go
I
ahead.
think I started explaining where nasty not cool came from in a stream once, but there's a whole Jeremy Renner used to have a Jeremy Renner app.
Jesus.
What? Okay,
What are
no.
we doing
There
right
used to
now,
be
guys?
back
Yeah, I
back when
remember
there were
this. I remember this.
back when there was back when there was an app for everything before like apps started to die off as a thing that just there used to just be like an insane number of apps you could get from the app store.
Uh-huh.
You remember these days? I had the more cowbell app.
I
It was just a
do.
cowbell
Yeah.
that you would hit, and it
Yeah.
would make a
Yeah.
cowbell
Like,
noise.
I
I
had a
had
This,
I remember I
Beavis the
had a
Butthead sound clips.
yeah, yes,
I still have it.
absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah,
I had
the
a
just
I had a gravity sensitive lighter app which you could light
Oh,
at
heck
concerts.
yeah.
Yeah, yes. So one of those apps was a Jeremy Renner social media app where it was just
Yeah.
Jeremy Renner posting updates about his life, and you could comment and chat
Yeah.
with him. And he actually read most of the
I
comments.
remember I
Uh,
remember when this happened cuz you want to hear I'm going to date myself here. I read a really good Cracked article about it, so then I went and downloaded it.
oh God, I know. You're speaking my language of old internet old man.
Look,
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just
So
saying that one of the things that Star Trek taught me is that if I could date myself, I would.
so that's great. That's great. So, and this is probably going to go on long enough to be an outtake for the patrons. So, hi, patrons. Uh,
Hello, everyone. We're
I don't
not
got
cutting
time
any
for
of this.
outtakes, man. I want to get to this.
We're not
well,
cutting any
well,
of this.
well,
We all have time limits. Zach, you have 30 seconds.
30
so
seconds.
Jeremy Renner was bad at dealing with trolls, and one troll he said like in one of his posts like, "I'm bird watching today. What are you doing?" And somebody responded, "I'm going to be watching pornography on my computer." And instead of ignoring the troll, what he did was screenshot that and then post that back onto his app so everybody could see it and say, "Nasty, not cool."
No,
Uh,
why
and
not?
so
God, what
whenever
a
somebody makes
loser.
a joke that goes a little too far at my apartment, we say nasty, not cool to each other. And we can't stop saying it. It's become such like a level of brain rot that we just like whip it out constantly. It's
Don't say
great.
whip it out.
We have a lot of
Nasty,
I
not
used to have a
cool.
lot of those like no one's gonna get them but three of us. Like, yeah.
Oh
Well,
my
we,
god,
we
we
haven't
talk about this all the time.
All right,
we,
let's
we have
go.
a new one because I don't know if you've seen a former U.S. president who I hate who is on tour for reasons right now talking to
Barack
people.
Obama.
No, I love Barack Obama. Me and him go way back. But no, Donald Trump's public speaking was never great, but it's like deteriorated so much in the last like couple months. And
Hmm.
he there's this clip where he just goes, "I did everything right, and they indicted me." And it seems like I'm exaggerating it, but I'm really downplaying it. He like puts a lot of stank on it,
Yeah, no, I
and
know.
that has become a fucking whenever somebody gives anybody the slightest amount of shit
And they
in my
indicted
apartment,
me.
we just turn to each other and say, "I did everything right. You indicted me."
Taco,
Ugh.
I'm so glad to have you on the show. It's great to have you here. Um,
Hey,
you're gonna
thanks, one of you.
you're gonna learn some
I
things
did everything right,
that
and he indicted me.
that it is impossible to break out of a bit on this
Oh my
show.
god. I tried, dude. Did you see me
Oh
clinking those
yeah.
chains? I was
Oh
going,
my
all right.
god, yeah.
Zach, I really do like you. I hope you realize how much I enjoy you as a person.
Yes, thank
But
you.
but I want
appreciate
to go bad, man. Let's talk about
I don't
some
know why you agreed to
Halloween
be on
stuff.
this show at 11:30 at night.
Dude, I
You
don't
know,
know.
yeah.
Okay,
If you've
I
seen a
agreed.
single episode of this
Hold
show, you
off.
would know that.
I agreed to do it at 10, not 10:30. You guys pushed.
Look, man, 2 hours is optimistic. If you're gonna bail, you should do it now.
Yeah. 2
I
hours
don't
is
want to do 2
optimistic.
hours. All right.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say, hey guys, we're talking about. I'm gonna take over the show. Screw you guys. We're talking
Yeah,
about
nope.
our Halloween and our Halloween lists. So they have a list that they once did on the show before that I have not seen because I don't really pay attention to these guys. I just tell them I do. And I have my list that I
Nasty.
wrote in the
Not
last
cool.
couple hours. I wrote half of it while I was at a wedding drinking wine, and then the other half when I was pretending to listen to my wife's stories about her day. And then I ran it over with her, and she enjoyed a lot of it. So I'm gonna read mine 10 through 4, and we'll talk about them. And then they're gonna do their same with their list, and then we're gonna all do our 1, 2, 3 or 3, 2, 1 together.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly correct.
You guys ready?
Taco, before we really get into this, do you have a hard
Jesus
out?
Christ.
Is there a time when you want to be gone?
Just don't make it go forever, man. I just want to go to bed. I don't have a hard out.
All
I'm
right.
past my bedtime already. My daughter wakes up 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. and it's almost 11 for me. So.
Okay, perfect. Then why don't you
Yeah.
give us your number 10?
Number 10 is the Howie Mandel vehicle, Little Monsters.
Oh,
Little Monsters.
This is a very fun take.
Thank you.
Tell us about Little Monsters.
Monsters is fantastic. Ben Savage, or no, it's Fred Savage as the lead. Ben Savage just plays younger brother, which is rather fitting. Howie Mandel plays a blue monster, and it's about a lot of things, but I do love it Halloween-wise because we watched it off of cable during Halloween way back in the day, back when cable was a thing. And it's got a lot of really cool practical monsters and this good take on growing up, and if you remain a juvenile hoodlum for too long, you stay a child. If you stay in the monster world for too long, you stay a monster, so on and so forth. It's really great, and you got some really good Howie Mandel one-liners. It's the first time I ever heard a bra or a brassiere referred to as a over-the-shoulder boulder holder, which is still one of my favorite things in the world.
For sure.
So,
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start saying that one. That's great.
Dude, that's good,
Also,
man. It's
I just
good.
looked it up. The director is the person who was the visual designer for Predator, which is kind of
Really?
great.
That rocks.
Yeah, the person who
Also-
directed this, was visual consultant for Predator. But that presumably means the person who directed this created the Predator costume, is what I'm reading
That's
this as.
great. That's great. I want to say the dad was somebody. Was it not Daniel Stern, or am I just creating that in my head?
I'm trawling through Wikipedia right now. It is Daniel Stern.
Yeah,
It's the dad.
and I think he doesn't play a comedic tone. Like, I don't think he was really known as a comedic actor yet. Yep, yeah, it sure was.
No, this
Daniel
is
Stern.
pre-Home Alone. Pre-Home Alone by a year.
Best Daniel Stern ever is Rookie of the Year. Fight Me.
I'm
He
just seeing
directed that too.
Oh my god.
Like
This
pitching coach.
movie has a 44 on Rotten Tomatoes, which means
Heck
it
yeah.
is either the best movie or the worst movie, and
It's
I'm
good.
excited either way.
It's good, man. I mean, it's not great. Like, nostalgia kind of helps me through it a lot,
Oh,
but
for sure.
it definitely doesn't hold up that much. But I can watch it all the way through right now.
Okay, hang
no,
on.
the-
Really good.
Price is Right rules. You ready? Y'all ready for this?
Y'all ready for this?
It had a budget of between 4.5 and 5 million. Taco, how much money did it make at the box office?
I literally could have just looked. I was just looking it up, but I set my phone down. It made. Are you telling me what it made? Not minus, like, not what it grossed, but just like what it made.
Yeah, what did it? What was it? What did it earn at the box office?
10 million in total.
It made
Oh, no.
$793,000.
Ooh.
Thousand.
It did not even make $1 million. It flopped hard.
Wow.
that hard.
I am actually
700,000.
I'm
But it
more
was a VHS movie, man.
I'm
Everyone
more
can
in the
rent
camp
it.
that it is the best movie ever made now.
It's good, dude, but it's not great, but it's good. You got Howie
Apparently,
Mandel pre freaking Deal or No Deal. What do you want?
apparently, a critic called it Beetlejuice, but for children.
Yeah,
Uh,
exactly. Very much.
that's a that sold me. I
All
don't know if
right.
they meant that as a compliment, but it sure worked for me.
All right. We want to move on to number
Yeah,
9.
yeah, give us your
Yeah.
As
number
you
9.
could see, I tried to go off the beaten path, but I didn't want to just be a contrarian for the sake of being a contrarian. But I did half that.
I mean,
None
Number
of the
9,
10 and 9 are great spots for like guilty pleasures or like
yeah.
weird little movies that not everybody knows.
So the original Night of the Living Dead is my number 9.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah. That's a
Tom,
good take.
we talked about doing a like location tour because it's all filmed around the Pittsburgh area, which would be a not inconvenient meetup
Yeah,
location if we wanted to
and
go
that
there.
and the I learned recently that the cemetery where that was filmed is still there, and it's like kind of a tourist attraction now. You can just go there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, you can just go
So
there.
I got a real world story. So this came out in 1968. My grandma said that when she was a early teenager, went to this in the drive-in, and she said that the entire night afterwards, she had like 4 sisters. They all just shared the same bed and just cried, holding each other all night,
Oh my god.
because it completely wrecked everybody. When it came out, she said that she didn't go to another scary movie ever again. Like it ruined horror for her because it just over scared her.
This is a great time to
Yeah.
talk about what this video was supposed to be. This was going to be, we weren't going to do the lists again. We were actually going to do a
Yeah.
slightly different format where we talk about scariest movies. And Zach,
Yeah.
this take, Taco's grandma's
Yeah.
take, reminds me of your take on Jaws.
Oh well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Jaws is not a like a horror movie in the sense of like, you know,
It's
a
absolutely
Nightmare
a
on
horror
Elm
movie.
Street or
Yeah.
but God doesn't make you afraid to be out on the water the
Yeah.
first time you watch it. If you watch Jaws and like you've never been to a beach before, you might never go to a beach.
Jaws is
Like
also like it's just a master class on how to use suspense in music and camera.
yep,
Like
yep.
you don't
There's
you see that shark for like 2 minutes the whole movie, but you don't think you're pretty sure you see that shark the whole time, but it's because it's always messing with you of putting you in the shark's POV and stuff like that, and the music. It's yeah, dude, Jaws is the shit.
Oh,
But
the
it's a summer
music,
movie.
though.
the reason, by the way, other than like busy schedules, one of the reasons we didn't do the scariest blank thing for the video that we were going to do was it just got too depressing.
Yeah, because the
Yeah,
things as adults now, and we'll talk about some
Yeah.
of the ones that were
how
on
many of
our
them wouldn't be
lists.
horror? They would
Yeah.
just be existential shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
existential
just
dread is
upsetting.
what the list
Yeah.
it became. Yeah,
Um,
but like I realized when I put down the album that scares me the most, to like this is not going to be a scary video. It's going to be me and Tom talking about death and sadness and
Yeah.
despair
yeah,
It's
for
just gonna
two
be the
hours.
things that make us
I would
the
have put
saddest.
Threads as my number 1.
Oh,
Oh
That
interesting.
yeah,
movie,
that's,
that
that's
movie
a damn.
rocked me,
Well, I
ruined
put
me.
down the was it the caretaker everything at the end of time.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
That's not a movie. It's everything. We gotta make sure everything at the end of time. Everywhere at the end of time. Sorry, it's it's an album
Oh,
about dementia and Alzheimer's, and it's
oh,
really
sad.
effective. But it scares the crap out of me, the idea that I might lose all my memories.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
But it's just not.
but
That's
I don't
really
want
not fun to talk about around Halloween.
no
No,
no,
no, and
it's not really Halloweeny to talk about
I want to move back
talk about
to our
losing your
actual
mind in that
list.
such a way. Yeah.
But
Taco, I appreciate you keeping us on track. Let's go.
Yes.
dude, all
Let's
right.
go.
But
Let's go.
to be fair, or to
To
be
be
just
fair.
not fair, to be clear, yeah, Threads is a movie, and it absolutely would be the scariest movie of all time for me. But it's absolutely not a Halloween movie. Night of the Living Dead.
It's a
It's
real
about
downer.
nuclear. It's a
Yeah, it's a
real
real
downer.
downer. It's one of those movies you never really want to watch twice.
I will
Yeah.
never watch that movie twice, ever. That movie like literally affected me. Like, yeah, like I look at the world differently after that movie.
Yeah.
It wrecked me. Okay, so what's
If
your
you want to,
guys'
if you want a double
experience?
feature, if you want a double feature with nuclear movies you never want to watch again, you can watch Grave of the Fireflies right afterwards.
Oh heck yeah,
Uh,
I think Threads it captures the dread a little more, but yeah.
yeah.
But okay, so do you guys have what's your guys' experiences with the 1968 Night of the Living Dead? Have you guys seen it?
Oh,
No.
I thought you were gonna plunge us onward.
We haven't talked about Night of the Living Dead
if we're
yet.
opening a sidebar,
Oh,
I
okay.
love this movie. I
We
love this movie so
okay.
much
It's
that
not a sidebar. This is the bar. We
Zach
This is the
sidebarred.
bar.
Zach and I have been intending for a while to start doing interesting movie nights.
Yeah, this
Where
movie's
we
great.
take like old, grainy, fun or important public domain movies and screen them and talk about them live.
And this is public
Yep.
domain.
And this is one of the
Yep.
ones that I would love to use. I love this movie.
So
This movie is so important to horror as a genre. The zombies as a subgenre
Absolutely.
would not exist without this movie.
Yep.
It is.
They don't even call them zombies in it because zombies isn't a term yet.
Yeah.
They call them ghouls in the movie.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I know some of the history behind it.
I know a lot of it. Yeah.
That the racial overtones were not intended.
No, not at all.
Yeah, the actor for the main character was just cast because he was a good actor.
Yeah, Dwayne
Yeah.
Jones, who's really good. Yeah, so George R. Romero gave it to Dwayne Jones because he came in and did the best audition. Period. That was all it was.
Yeah.
And also 1969, I know we look back and we see all old movies as like, oh, race and blah, like it sure it was a big deal, but it wasn't a lot of like I don't think George R. Romero thought he was fighting the good fight or anything, like it wasn't like every movement was for civil rights back then. Sometimes it was
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I think he was just trying to make a movie.
yeah.
Also, he grew up in the Bronx, and like things were a lot more like not that racism didn't exist, obviously
No,
it
of
did,
course
but
not.
things were a lot better there than they were in the rest of the
Yeah,
country.
he
And
wasn't
back in
making
the
this in
day,
Jim Crow South.
yeah, back in the day, you just didn't know what the rest of the country was like. You only heard a little bit about
Yeah.
it. We didn't we think of each other. We think of being painfully aware of the rest of the world now.
This is
You just didn't know back in the day. So like,
painful.
yeah,
That
like hey,
casting choice was way more interesting in Tallahassee than it was in the Bronx.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it is really, and Daniel Jones does do a fantastic job. And there's a lot about this movie. There's a lot of mistakes in editing, where it's edited very poorly, and it adds to it so much.
Yeah.
Where you'll see the actress played by Judith O'Dear, Barbara, the character Barbara, and she'll walk through a door, and they'll edit it to where she has to do the walk again, like they'll mess it up. So a lot of times it really kind of like the eeriness of the weird editing kind of messes with you even more. And and I don't know, there was just something about it being so low budget and so bare bones, and it's really like there's no fun, suspenseful music. Like there's no cool editing and no cool shots to take you out of it and make it fun. You're just in this house with these people who don't trust each other, and there's monsters outside, and the main character who you thought you were supposed to follow, Barbara, because Dwayne doesn't come in until later, like she just immediately sees her brother die, and she's just like sulking and unable to move for most of the movie, and it's just such a terrifying downer of these people who are failing to be decent human beings as the world just crumbles around them. It's so bad.
Speaking of editing and post-production, the
Yeah.
crazy way that they shot and edited the girl killing the mom
Oh yeah,
was
yeah.
horrifying.
The audio, bro,
Yeah.
of that, they loop it because they don't know what they're doing, and you hear the mom scream echo
Over
they-
and
they-
over
it
and
just-
over.
and it's like, I'm glad you brought that up, because I think the daughter killing her mom with a trowel of all weapons is easily one of the most terrifying shots
Yeah.
I've ever seen. And I'm
That-
not just saying like it's a good shot, like it just wrenches your heart out.
You know what? You know what these takes remind me of? Poltergeist. You talking
Mhm.
about the editing. the editing in Poltergeist is really sloppy, and there's some like weird jump cuts in a lot of places.
Yeah. Mhm.
And that
We're
does
gonna
not
talk about editing later too.
it
Sorry,
do,
go ahead.
it does not detract from the movie for me. It actually
No.
makes it more unsettling.
Yeah. I mean, we're not supposed to. Film isn't supposed to be a documentary, and it's definitely not supposed to be a look into real life. And in experimental takes, even something as simple as like, not to bring it to modern times, but like how Scorsese chose to end Killers of the Flower Moon, where he literally comes up on stage and talks.
Wait! Don't tell me about that. I want to see that.
That didn't ruin anything, so I'm sorry.
Okay.
But I won't give you any more context past that. Jack White makes a cameo.
Crisis
Okay,
averted.
moving on.
Oh, this is probably a, we're like 15 20 minutes into the video. This is probably a good time for a disclaimer. Blanket spoilers for all horror movies.
Yeah.
Right.
Specifically Halloween.
Possibly everything that's ever existed.
Yeah.
You don't know what's gonna get spoiled here.
I feel like we covered enough of Night of the Living Dead, but when it comes to, if I were to give this the slot a name, it's like, I don't know, like, it's so, what am I, like, bare bones, like, it's terrifying. Like, it's not fun or quirky.
I should definitely. I can't believe I haven't given it a watch, considering I love Creepshow, which is also a Romero directed film.
Mm-hmm.
So I should probably go back and watch this.
And the funny thing is, I don't consider this his best even out of the Dead series, but I think it fits Halloween so much more because so much more of the Dead series isn't about scares. Like, this is the scariest, but so much of George A. Romero is actually, commentary on Cold War and race later on, and then all this other stuff, like, in consumerism. Like, Dawn of the Dead is just about consumerism.
Dawn of the Dead fucking rocks.
It's definitely a better film than Night of the Living Dead. Dawn of the Dead is, but Dawn of the Dead's not a scarier film. But it is a better film.
You know what's funny? I don't know that I've ever seen any but the original.
Dude, Dawn and Day are like at least 8 out of 10s, and I'm a really harsh critic.
Let's go.
They are good.
Oh,
they're good freaking films.
We have such an interesting range of critics here. I am perhaps the lightest critic you will ever find. I love everything everywhere.
I'm very harsh normally. Okay, number 8.
Oh, hang on. Hang on. I have a sidebar.
Sweet.
While I was doing all this horror movie stuff, the addition of the title reminded me of this. Are y'all familiar with Frankenstein 1970?
Not. Hold on.
Okay.
Maybe not.
That is the title of the film.
Okay.
And Zach, like, we talk about Suspiria, right? When we want to distinguish, we say Suspiria 2018. Right?
Yes, because the one came out in 2018 and the other one came out in 77.
Exactly. And I think it's really funny to have a date in your movie. Frankenstein 1970, 1955,
which came out in 1958,
is so fucking funny. And, like, can we make that funnier? Can we do a documentary on Frankenstein 1970, 1958 and call it Frankenstein 1970, 1958, 2023?
By making a second one later, so you have to do it. We make the same title documentary twice.
Yes, we do a sequel to that documentary.
But it's a sequel without any notification that it's like a second one. So you have to disambiguate with the year it's released. I love it. I love it a lot.
Now take all of this and replace it with 1984.
1984. Oh yeah, because they could make another 1984. Like, it's seeing a revival in popularity because of people comparing everything on the internet.
Just listen to the audiobook again last summer while I was biking around.
It's pretty good.
It's I forgot how much it just made me fucking hate everything. But can I move on to number 8, please?
So
yes.
Oh wait, has somebody done this already?
Jesus.
Because if you Google, if you want to look up the film adaptations, there is 1984, 1956 film, and there's 1984, 1984 film.
Yeah, the 1984 film that everyone knows about is the one that came out in 1984.
So
Oh.
there's 1984, 1984, and we can do a retrospective. We can do a remake and call it 1984, 1984, 2023.
Yeah, done.
All right,
My number
Number
8
eight.
is going to be the first of out of a big slasher films, and this one doesn't have anything to do with Halloween, but is a perfect popcorn munching slasher. And I'm going to state right now, I do not have. If you want to talk about the main 4 slashers, I do not have 2 of them. I only have. I'm gonna say them, but I won't say which ones I have. If you look at Friday, Nightmare, Halloween, and Child's Play, I only have 2 on this list.
Is Child's Play the other main 4 slasher?
oh, got it.
In my opinion.
Well, unless you want to count Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah.
Texas Chainsaw.
I guess you could count Texas Chainsaw. So then
They
you
made-
would say Big
oh.
5, but if you want to count that, you have to count Child's Play still. You can add. I don't think you can take.
What about the Psycho franchise? Not the original Psycho, but like
Well, the
Don't
Psycho
you fucking
franchise
talk
is
to me
not
about
a
Psycho
great-
1998.
It's not a great
no,
franchise.
no,
It's
not
a
the
great
remakes.
movie.
These sequels that came out in the 80s.
Yeah,
Oh,
2,
God.
3, 4. The 5th one's a TV movie.
Oh my god.
Can I?
Yes.
All right. So you guys love your games. Which one is the first out of the 4 of those slashers? If you don't want to call them the big 4, that's fine. Screw off.
Okay.
Is this
which
Halloween
is the first one
Season
I'm
of the
bringing
Witch?
up?
Hang on, Zach. Hang on.
Season of the Witch. Season of
Hang
the
on.
Witch.
That's your final answer. Then let's hear from the other guy.
It's
In
from Tom.
order,
Tom.
Sure, whatever.
in
your
order,
names are.
I think that the higher is going to be Season of the Witch, and the lower is going to be Child's Play 2. Those
So
are
my number 8 is Child's Play 2.
Let's go!
Oh,
Let's go!
wow.
From way downtown.
Wow.
Tom, you're in my head.
I got
like
you.
that you even knew which Child's Play.
I presume
it's
it's because
2.
it's the best one.
2 is yeah, it is.
One,
And
1, 2, and
it's
3.
so freaking good.
1, 2, and 3 are all really good.
So I want to talk about 2. So why I don't love 1 as much is because they don't show Chucky. Chucky's not until the 3rd act really, and it's got a lot of good to it. It really does. But was it Vincent, the son or the kid? I'm trying to remember the actor's name. It's like Charles Vincent or something. But he's so great because he can't quite act yet, and it's so funny.
And he's so cute.
He's so cute, but
Yeah.
he just fumbles through his lines. He
This
said
bumbly,
he's a
weird kid.
murderer. It's like, yeah, you got it, kid.
He's
Keep
the
going.
Chucky. He told me to do this.
Yeah, he just fumbles through his lines. It's so cute. So, but 2 has full-on animatronics, like some of the best,
Yeah.
completely hold up today. The majority of the movie, and one of the best 3rd acts of slasher frickin' history.
Oh.
They go to the good guy factory.
Oh hell yeah!
It's so good.
They go to the
And then
Chucky factory that's making all the Chuckies, and it's so cool.
the one guy gets tossed in a conveyor belt, and Chucky plastic eyes get shoved into his eye sockets.
Yeah.
And then Chucky gets like ripped in half, and he's got a hand knife for like a little bit. He's like holding himself on a cart, and he's like, come on! Like, oh my god, its 3rd act, like, its 3rd act is so freaking good. So it's got all the good parts of 1 dialed up, and the problem with 3 is 3's just a more boring movie outside of the Chucky, and it constantly quotes, like, it's like, it weirdly quotes too much Full Metal Jacket. So what it does is it number 3 takes place in a military school, and it reminds me of Full Metal Jacket so much where I go, dude, I'd just rather watch Full Metal Jacket than this. Like, stop reminding me that better movies exist.
Have you ever wanted
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket
One of the
but
worst
with a
things
killer
you're-
doll running around?
One of the
What'd you
worst
say?
things your film can do is remind somebody of a better movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Never say your opponent's name in an ad, and never remind people of
Yeah.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah, for
You're-
real.
you're-
And they literally, there's a guy who goes, this is my weapon, this is my gun, this is for fighting, this is for fun. It's like, dude, I'm just gonna go watch that scene. It's better than this. But anyways, yeah, Child's Play 2, I don't know what else I need to say to gush about it. It is by far my favorite Child's Play, or just Chucky movie. And I do think it's one of the strongest horror movie franchises. It's, if you want to go to big 5 or 6, if you want to throw in Texas and Scream, I do think that that behind Scream, Child's Play has the best returning best quality of all of them. I don't know what phrase I was looking for there, but
Like as a franchise that holds up
yeah,
the
as a
best.
franchise as a
Well, like
whole, I think
my
Child's
my
Play is right
understanding,
behind
I
Scream.
think I've only seen the first one all the way through, but I've heard people say like Chucky becomes a compelling character through all of it, and that's one of the reasons like a lot of people don't like the first one as much is he's such a compelling character. Like it's a
Yeah.
shame you don't get more of him.
Yeah,
Which is
because
exactly what you said. There's
the
not
You
as
have
much Chucky in that movie.
amazing animatronics, but you have Brad Dourif's top
oh
tier, and I
fucking
mean
oh
top
yeah.
freaking tier. Like when they had to replace him in that shitty remake, they had to bring in Mark Hamill. They knew what they were going up against. Because Brad Dourif was so good. The only dude who could possibly take over his shoes was Mark Hamill, and he couldn't.
I think the only two that I've watched like a significant number of times are the first and second. But I have watched all of them at least once, and that series gets fucking wild.
Yeah, it gets
Yeah.
great.
Like
Yeah.
Bride and Seed are
Bride's
extremely strange.
fine. Seed is awful. It just goes too far out.
I love what they're
Bride,
trying to do. Honestly, I love I love that series.
but
it's great.
they molded comedy and horror just right with Bride, and then they went too far with Seed. And then Curse is really good. Cult isn't as bad as certain people say. I like Cult. And then that's it up to the TV series, and I haven't seen all the TV series. I do plan on it.
I think my friend had just Bride and Seed on VHS as when I was a kid.
Great soundtracks too. There for you, Zach. I'll bring up music.
Oh yeah, Zach.
Yeah,
unironically, I think you would love that series. I think you would love every single movie in that series.
Bride's soundtrack, if memory serves, is like really good, late '90s like prog rock, like not prog rock. Sorry, industrial rock, like that, like Rob Zombie.
I'm looking. Oh shit! Typo Negative, Love You to Death. That's got to be in like my top like 25 songs of all time. Well, maybe not. Like top 40 at least. We got some Static X, Motorhead. Always appreciated.
I'm down for both of those.
Zombie, Judas Priest, Slayer.
You know,
yeah,
I can talk about things you don't know too.
I've. It's a shame I'll never get to see Typo Negative live. I did get to see Slayer though on their final tour.
I saw Typo Negative live, but I don't have enough. Like I wasn't smart enough to enjoy it. Like I was a kid.
No, nobody knew Peter Steele would be dead at like 48. That's tough to tell.
I think I was like 12, and it was a big festival. But anyways, let's move on to 7.
Yeah, to bring us back to the main. While you're thinking about what is going to be on our lists, Taco, unless I'm mistaken, Zach, the big 4 that you mentioned, I believe that no entries appear on either of our lists.
Yeah, ours are not. Neither of our lists were traditionally Halloweeny in that regard.
Yeah.
It was. I think that
that's fine. Only 2 made.
I think we both had entries you could consider slasher films on there, but not. You might also call bullshit on us calling all of them slasher films, except for one.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
We'll come back. We'll come back.
Number 7.
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show.
That's a great choice.
Let's do the time warp again. That didn't make. That made honorable mentions for us.
Yeah, that was on both of our honorable mentions list.
I don't feel like we even need to talk about Rocky Horror. Do we? Okay, all right, we can. I was like, do we?
We talked about it in our previous video, even though it was an honorable mention for both of us.
And I think we spent longer talking about that than any other single film.
I don't know if that's the case, but like, there's so much good to say about it.
It's up there in one of my favorite musicals, and if you've ever had the chance to go to your local theater's production of it during Halloween season, go. but
Yeah.
do please look up what you're supposed to yell back. Like,
Yeah.
look up audience participation for Rocky Horror
Yep.
if you ever go to it live, or else it's gonna be like if you go to a Catholic mass and you don't know the passwords. You're gonna be like, what? What are these guys mumbling? Why are these guys yelling stuff? Like, like you're gonna be lost. You're gonna feel like you don't belong.
Yeah, exactly. Do that. You'll have a lot of fun.
Zach, do you
Yeah.
want to take 30 seconds on Rocky Horror, or should I?
30 seconds for you guys is 15 minutes.
I'll take 30 seconds giving my spiel on it.
You take it, and I echo all of these things, but louder, more high pitched, and with a spring in my step.
You guys sound the
Usually
same
it's a
to
little
me.
bit lower pitch. That's the way most people tell our voices apart. The music is phenomenal.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
energy coming from every single actor is incredible.
Yeah.
Tim Curry,
Is
dear God, I don't even need
smashing.
to say anything.
Holy
Uh,
shit. Yeah.
Tim Curry performs drag in a way that everybody wishes they could live up to. And God, it's not even really drag. Like he's become all genders at once, and he's better
Yeah.
at them than anybody who ever
It's
has.
really funny that he's like,
Think of any gender expression you've ever experienced, and Tim Curry beats you at that. Everybody at the same
he's
time.
like equal parts masculine, feminine, and sexy as hell.
I see you shiver with
I don't
anticipation.
know. I don't know what I'm attracted to, but I'm attracted to.
I'm confused and having
I'm
a great
building
time.
a mountain.
The comedy is great, but they never like lean too hard on it. They just let it happen.
And there's a Meatloaf cameo.
Oh,
there's
you
a
say
extended
Meatloaf cameo? He does
cameo.
2 songs. I love this man.
There's
Yeah,
Meatloaf who fucking kills it, and I love him. He's great.
Opportunity, bless my soul.
Bless my soul.
Yeah, I love Meatloaf.
And there's if you've never seen it, you should. It's great. And it was made on a shoestring budget, and they had a blast. I think I mentioned that not a lot of people know that a lot of the crew who made Rocky Horror has another movie musical that people don't watch about a superhero called The Return of Captain Invincible.
No,
That
I'm
is not a
I
Halloween
did not know
movie,
that.
but you should watch it because it has Christopher Lee as the villain who does a musical number. And what you didn't know is that Christopher Lee can sing like a motherfucker, unless you listen to his heavy
Christopher
metal
Lee
albums.
could do anything. I loved his heavy
His heavy metal albums are great.
Final
He does a
point.
musical number where he tempts the recovering alcoholic superhero with a drink, and it's one of my favorite songs ever in any musical, and nobody knows what it's from.
Final point on Rocky Horror. Rocky Horror is
Yes.
also a very important movie for people who don't necessarily feel like they fit in because of things about themselves. And it means a lot to me and people that I identify with. So look up the history. I won't belabor it now, or go watch the last Halloween video because we go on a long time.
We go on a tirade about how gay it is and how
if you're Christopher Lee, oh sorry, go ahead.
No, it's also a huge deal for midnight movies and like cult films and like theaters reshowing things with any consistency. I don't want to say it started with Rocky Horror, but like it started in earnest because of
started
annual
with Rocky Horror and half started with Toxic Avenger. That's also
Toxic Avenger. A little bit of Pink Flamingos in there too.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. 6.
I spill the blood of the Saxon Man. Okay, so
number.
God, I love that man. All right, so this isn't a horror, and this is also a Christmas movie. It's Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's a good choice. Good choice.
That is a phenomenal choice.
It's like the only child, or the only like. Well, I guess Little Monsters is kid friendly, but this is like one of the only kid friendlies I got on here. I'm gonna definitely. I'm skewing way more horror than you guys. I'm assuming.
We'll see. We'll talk about it.
You're about equal right now.
You're pretty on par, to be honest.
We're gonna paste in our list later, so you go think.
I would love to kind of move right past Nightmare Before Christmas because I think everyone knows enough about it.
It's been the hot topic since the year of our Lord 2004. You know this fucking movie.
We can live like back in Sally if you want. We'll have Halloween on Christmas.
Me and my daughter were looking through Disney Plus, looking at the Halloween selections, and she's 3. And she said that one, and I was like, "You want to try Nightmare Before Christmas? You sure?" And she's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "It's scary." She's like, "Yeah." She made it about 1 minute into the first song when the guy underneath the
Yep,
stairs,
the guy under the
Yeah.
stairs with snakes in his
got her.
hair.
She went, "No, no."
Yep.
All right, off. We tried, honey.
I I love I love the movie. It's incredible. Is it? Am I not mistaken? Does Tim Burton? Not Tim Burton. Danny Elfman sings in
Yes.
it too,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, Danny
the
Elfman's the
music by
voice
he's a
of
Danny
singing
Jack
Elfman.
Skellington. Yep.
He's a singing voice of Jack Skellington, and he
Yep.
does the music. I am a huge Oingo Boingo guy, and
Me too.
I like them more every year as more and more songs just start appearing on my playlist out of nowhere, and I've turned down 0 of them so far. He is such a fucking talented singer too. Like,
Yeah.
I wish I had like his vocal chops. To think that like he does all those silly over the top Oingo Boingo songs, then does Jack Skellington's like super great expressive singing also. Mwah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's great.
incredible talented display.
Okay,
Number
my
five.
number 5. Which Halloween did you say that I have on my list?
Season of the Witch.
Gotta be 3, right?
Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Yeah.
The best one. God, it's so
Uh,
good.
It is not the best one.
How dare you?
It is the most Halloween movie. I mean,
Yeah,
this
We're about to
fits-
have a fight about
this
the
is
Halloween
a
franchise
Halloween
right now.
watch. This is a Halloween watch. It is the second best one,
That's fair.
but I will not put anyone over John Carpenter's freaking masterpiece. That is Halloween, and that's not.
I will
I don't
never
even
argue
consider-
that. Yeah, that
Well, I don't consider it his best film by any means. I don't even put
no,
Halloween
it's
as
Jesus
top,
Christ,
like,
it's John
4 or 5.
Carpenter. Like you could
No.
have a like bar fight over what his best film is, and everybody at the bar could still miss a film that
Yeah.
has an argument for being his best.
Yeah,
film.
and it would
because
end
then
with In the Mouth of
everyone's-
Madness beating everybody.
Yeah, everyone's gonna kill each other. Then at the end, somebody's gonna be like, "Wait, They Live was him too." No, and then they're
Wait,
gonna start
fuck,
fighting.
he made Christine.
Yeah, yep. Christine, Escape from New York. Like, oh my god, The Fog.
Starman.
He did
The
Escape from New
Fog.
York.
Yeah,
That's great.
first and second, in New York and L.A. He
No one's gonna argue that Escape from LA is a good movie.
no, it's not good. But God, I'm gonna remember the story wrong, and somebody's just gonna have to find it. But I believe he like Lee Van Cleef would only do it if like do Escape from New York if John Carpenter personally bought his like donuts and coffee every morning and gave it. It was like this weird power play, like you have to serve me my breakfast every day because he was out of he retired.
Is this a horny thing?
I don't know, but Lee Van Cleef, I would serve that man donuts. I love Lee Van Cleef. Anyways, this isn't a John Carpenter film. We'll save it for if I have John Carpenter later. So
Oh boy.
Halloween 3 has it's just so insane, batshit crazy. Like, can you say the synopsis of this movie without like losing your mind? Like,
No.
a doctor who's an alcoholic and a womanizer of people half his age decides to just go solve a mystery in a small California town about a crazy Irish toy maker who's using part of the Stonehenge to murder all your children on Halloween.
Yeah.
Through masks that turn their heads into bugs.
Yeah. You didn't tell a lie that whole sentence.
Mic drop, bro. What is that movie? And they called it Halloween.
Oh my god,
Because
the fucking
screw you,
jingle.
that's why.
The jingle that
Oh my
burns
God.
into your brain.
3 more days to Halloween.
Halloween,
Halloween. Halloween. 3
Oh
more
my
days to
God.
Halloween. Silver Shamrock.
Oh
Yeah.
god.
It's so good.
I hate that movie.
I love this movie. I think the only Halloweens I've ever watched are 1 and 3, and
Honestly,
I don't
you picked
I
a
don't
good
know
two.
if I don't need to know if I need to watch any more than that.
I like H2O, but
H2O
We're not-
is very
the
fun.
terms I
That's
was
the one
looking
with-
for
that's
was
the one with
the-
LL Cool J writing porn.
yeah. The terms I was looking for was diminishing return earlier. The term I was looking
Oh
for.
yeah,
And Halloween is probably the worst when it comes to that.
yeah.
Now hold the
It
phone.
has the most lows, even comparing. Well, maybe Friday, but Friday has more highs.
Well, yeah, Friday
Um,
Friday also has more opportunities at bat. Like the
Not much more.
Halloween. What was that?
Not much
No,
more.
No, I think that
No,
We
Halloween
haven't made a
now-
Friday. Remember,
Yeah.
5
Yeah, they haven't-
Halloweens have been made since the last Friday.
that's true. Halloween's catching up now. So Halloween like has a weird thing where it dips pretty hard in the middle, and then it
Mhm.
depends on whether you're a fan of the new ones or not. I've heard people both. I know
I
that
will
market.
fucking go to bat for those new films.
I won't.
I've heard bad things about Halloween Kills and good things about Halloween Ends, usually from the same people.
Yeah.
So
I like and hated Kills.
Oh,
I-
Kills is okay. Halloween 2018, very fun, pretty good. Kills,
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
Kills, very fun, pretty good. I like it. Ends, absolute dog shit.
I actually think I
Interesting.
put Ends higher than Kills
It's so interesting because
because they tried something.
That's true. It is creative.
They did a thing at least because
Now-
Halloween's very famous for not doing a fucking thing.
Now, do
yeah,
not
that's
mistake
something.
me.
Like I was gonna say, is my understanding of it as a slasher franchise is Michael Myers is not that compelling as of a villain compared
He's
to every
not.
other major slasher there is.
No,
If you put a gun to my head and said, "Tom, you have to watch 3 Halloween movies right now," I might pick those 3. I love them. I really do. I think that they're so much fun.
if they had to be in succession, it would be 1, 2, and 3. But if they didn't, it would be 1, 3, and H2O. And then if I had to do a 4th, Rob Zombie's first.
The Rob Zombie Halloween movies are the only ones that I don't have like a really good memory of. Because I saw them in theaters, and I think that's the only time I ever saw them.
We're not really talking about this, but yeah, I think we kind of covered Halloween 3 though. I threw out the synopsis of it, so I have one more, right?
Yes, but before you go, I have wonderful, fantastic news. Halloween has passed Friday the 13th for a number
Told
of
you,
films.
suck it.
Halloween is now
Wow.
at 13 films.
I'm in
They
charge.
they really like they really because there hasn't been a Friday the 13th since when?
Since the
08,
remake?
09?
Yeah.
Yeah, 08 or
Remake?
09.
09, wow. And then there wasn't one before that for a while either, right? There was a gap.
I think the one before
No,
that was
no, no.
Freddy
Jason
versus
X
Jason, right?
was. No, it was Jason X. Was in between those.
I have
Jason X,
I
and then
have,
there was Freddy versus Jason also.
Oh, X was before Freddy versus Jason.
yes, I think so.
Okay, then yeah, after
think-
Freddy versus Jason, Freddy versus Jason was the end until the remake.
Freddy X, yeah, because I think there was hold on.
Yeah, because X
Friday-
is 10, Freddy is 11, and how do you not make the 13th Friday the 13th?
I've
What
been
are we
thinking
doing here,
this
guys?
myself. Like, how do
Yeah,
we not
because
have Friday the 13th?
it's a big
13th?
rights thing, and I want to move on, please. But it's a big rights
Yes.
thing.
All right, let's
Yeah,
not-
you guys-
that's not
the
even
legal-
the series we're talking about right now.
No,
the
not at
legal
all.
quagmire, yeah.
So, all
I
right.
like that episode of Family Guy.
But,
I want to. So this next film is a 2015 film,
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
and it is a dude who went and said, "Hey, I'm gonna start directing," and then he came out with this, and it blew everybody away. Let me see. I want to say it's his. He went on to make other movies that are also really, really, really good. Decided to use a lot of natural lighting. It is a period piece.
Oh, I know what it is.
What is it?
I know this movie. This is the Vavitch.
It is absolutely the Vavitch.
I love the
I've still not
Vavitch.
seen. I've
This-
still not seen the Vavitch.
Anya Taylor-Joy. Before anyone knew who Anya
Oh,
Taylor-Joy was, it's Robert Eggers came out of the park, frickin' swinging with this movie. They shot it with nothing but candlelight. You want to fight, yo? Like,
This movie
Like,
features
it's
both Liza
naturally
Aaron
lit.
and the Hound.
Yep. Nope. Not the Hound. Wrong.
Wait, who is that? Who's the guy?
Liza Aaron and Dagmar Cleftjob.
Thank you. I apologize.
Ralph Ennison, the fact that they wasted him, not even like he was miscast, of course, as Dagmar because he didn't even have a cleft jaw. Please, guys, watch my "What's the difference between Dagmar and cleft jaw" video. Thank you, because I did that. That was my first "What's the difference." But
get it.
let's
go
talk
do,
about
go do
the
it.
difference.
Go light
Yeah.
it up right. Go watch that video right now and play it in the background. If you play that video and this video at the same time, they line up.
Yeah,
It's
that's
crazy.
true. So my wife really wants goats when we move into a house. When we get a house, we want to go outside of town because we can't afford a house in town, and we want to go to a small little place where we have a little bit of land. And she's like, I really want goats. I said, cool. Can we get a really terrifying black goat and name him Black Phillip? And she goes, not on your life, never, not ever gonna happen. I'm like, I want to spend every morning feeding him, going Black Phillip, Black Phillip, Black Phillip, Black Phillip.
Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
I
This movie rocks.
this
I,
movie's so
I'm
fucking
gonna
good.
be honest. Zach, have you seen this? You have not.
He's
I've not
not.
seen the Vivitch.
Let me
You'll
talk
love
about
it.
this for
You'll love it.
just a moment.
I do want to see it someday.
This
but-
is one of those movies that I really respect, but don't really like watching, because it
I-
kind of feels like homework to me. You know what I mean?
It compared to other Robert Eggers, it's not as bad. But
Yeah.
Fucking The Lighthouse though.
Lighthouse is
Yeah, I was
homework.
about to say,
Light-
Tom's about to talk about how great the Lighthouse
The
is.
Lighthouse
I've
is
still not seen
perhaps like The Lighthouse is on my list of favorite movies of all time.
It
it.
isn't.
Did
for
you know?
me.
By the way, do you know what Robert Eggers working on right now?
I don't.
No.
He is making a remake of Nosferatu.
Oh fuck
Oh.
yeah, let's go.
He's gonna fumble it. He's got to fumble one eventually.
I don't think it. I hope it's not this one. Bill Skarsgård is Count Orlok in Nosferatu,
Oh my God, let's
directed by
go.
fucking Robert Eggers.
Let's go. I'm in.
That sounds great,
I'm
honestly.
in.
That's
Oh my
funny.
god, hell yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted to look really quick. So yeah, because I know there was a big fight between like are you an Ari Aster person or a Robert Eggers, and before Lighthouse came out, I was Eggers, because Aster did like Hereditary
Oh, yeah.
and Midsummer, and I was like, Midsummer's a little weak. Hereditary to me is like it's not a Halloween movie, but it's right there with The Witch. And then Lighthouse knocked it down, and then Northman brought it right back up. Like I'm Eggers all the way, man.
This human being is dunking on The Lighthouse and Midsummer?
No, I said Midsummer's good. It just knocked it down a little.
Oh,
I like
okay. All right,
Midsummer
all right,
a lot.
all right,
I like all of these movies. They're all really good movies. And Lighthouse is one of the best like made movies of all time.
It's so beautiful.
They
and
put
horrible.
like what they put everyone through to film that movie. And you're fond of me lobster. But I like the movie, but it's a chore. I don't enjoy watching it.
You know
Like,
what's it's very
it's so
interesting.
much.
I wonder if this is just like an aesthetic difference that I feel that way about The Witch because I don't really like get into the like Puritan kind of like cornfields and curses kind of aesthetic all that
bro.
much.
But you put a Tom surrounded by salt water and he fits right in.
Oh yeah.
Dude, the shot where the mom's in the dark and she's breastfeeding something that we like, and then the light flips on and it's just a crow ripping her apart. That didn't burn into your subconscious.
I didn't say it didn't burn into my skull. All right, I didn't say that.
I'm trying not to ruin things for Zach.
That movie fucked me up. Okay, it's great.
Dude, that movie's so good. Watch
if
it.
you told me to
We're
put
not gonna give away the twist or anything, but Zach, get on it.
Yeah, it's really good.
We'll do.
It's on streaming services. You'll watch it.
I recommend
like
it
it.
with subtitles.
Oh, absolutely. You can't understand a damn thing, Ralph Edison. I love Ralph Edison. Brother's war. You're like, what is he saying? And everyone's whispering and.
Oh man, that's a good choice.
Tom, I think this is where we're gonna break to bring in our lists.
Yes, sir.
So far, the only overlap has been, I believe, with our honorable mentions.
Yes, I don't believe that there have been any, which is interesting because the same is true of Zach's and my list with each other. All of the movies up to number 4 rather, have been unique on all 3 of our lists.
And then we only overlapped once, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, I believe you are correct. So, Zach, we'll just do it this way. Give me your number 10.
Oh gosh, I have to go all the way back to that video.
You do.
Let me pull it up. Let me pull up our original Halloween.
And we're just gonna make this a little bit smaller and like kind of up in the
My
order. Just for
my
you.
number 10 was Gremlins 2.
That's a great choice.
Okay. Is Gremlins 2 take place at Halloween?
Nope, sure
Uh,
doesn't.
Because
No, it takes
Gremlins is
place-
a Christmas movie, but I don't think Gremlins 2 is.
Gremlins 2 takes place on President's Day.
Oh, that's fantastic. Gremlins 2 is a
It's,
fever dream of a movie.
I adore it. I love it
Fever
so much.
dream.
I agree with Nick. Let's go. I believe is how you pronounce it. That we need a Gremlins 3. The time is right. We as a nation are ready for a third Gremlins movie.
It's
Joe
time.
Dante.
It's time.
Yeah.
It's time. That was my number 10.
All right.
I adore it. I love it so
I
much.
love
Great.
that pick. That's such a like a left field pick, and I love
No,
it.
it's good. It's just as left field as Little Monsters. I
Yeah.
can't talk shit. I put Little Monsters on.
It's
my
pretty
list.
good. It's pretty good.
I put the Fred Savage classic.
Zach, you're number
Uh,
9.
My number 9,
Number
kind of
9?
cheating, was well, it's kind of cheating, but you can view it. It's just an especially long movie if you want to.
Yeah.
It's Marble Hornets.
Okay.
These we make the rules on this podcast, so we can do whatever the fuck we want. It's pretty cool.
I don't know
Yeah.
what Marble Hornets is.
Oh, Zach, go ahead. It's all
Oh.
yours.
Marble Hornets is one of the OG internet alternate reality games, but it's not the way you would think of it, where there's a lot of like puzzle solving
So
stuff
it's
like
not
that.
a movie?
The funny thing is, yes and no. It was
It was
used
released on
YouTube-
DVD as like a set.
It was released on DVD so that you can watch the whole thing in one sitting, and it tracks as a film experience. But they released it in installments and like treated it as if it was real when it was coming out. You can watch it as one narrative piece, and I have done this with people many a time, and I recommend it highly. You can also watch it piece by piece. You could say it's not a movie. You could say it is a movie. I don't care. I wanted to put it on my list. I watch Marble Hornets in some capacity.
Yeah, it's our
every
show.
spooky
Fuck it. We can do it. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
Cool, no,
It's
I
our show,
agree. I
fuck
just
it.
can't speak on it. But yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Strongly
I-
recommend it. It does take a long time to get through though.
Yeah,
It's like 6
highly
or 7
recommend
hours or something.
Nothing will ever reach the feeling of discovering it on your own through the internet back when it was still uploading and not knowing if it was real or fake. Even though you knew it was fake, just like people uploaded weird shit back
Well,
to YouTube
see,
then.
that's
It
the
didn't
thing.
ring any alarm bells.
Right, you knew it was fake in the same way that you knew the beheadings on MySpace were fake.
Not
Yeah.
all the beheadings.
Exactly, right? That's the thing.
Yeah.
Not all the
Not all the beheadings.
not all the beheadings were fake.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
not
so
every-
there's this kernel in the back of your brain circa 2006 when you're like, wait a minute, this isn't real, right?
that's the wonderful thing about Marble Hornets is the whole way through, like the plausibility doesn't start to break down as a thing that could be on YouTube until even like I would say the whole way through. I think some of the things you would squint at and say this is fiction don't hit in until you're near the end and you're already so invested in the story by that point that you can suspend your disbelief a lot more. Those first like several entries, I would say like the first 20 or so entries, they all feel so fucking real, like just a thing you would find on the internet. And that's why it was so compelling. And it also, considering that's preserved pretty well in the way that you watch it as like one go through film, it's such a great mood that it sets you in at the beginning.
I'm gonna be a complete jerk here, but can we go like in 30 minutes? Can we just kill this?
Yes, let's.
I gotta
let's-
wake up in less
you know,
than 6
let's-
hours, probably, maybe.
As do I. So let's speed this
Okay.
up.
All right, hey,
My number 8 is Army of Darkness.
fine.
Oh, absolutely. I love that 100. I didn't even think about the Evil Deads. How did I not think about the Evil Deads? Evil Dead
Army
2
of
should be
Darkness.
on my list.
Tom,
Yeah.
you just watched Army of Darkness on my suggestion. You're
Correct.
going to talk about it now.
It's very fun. It's fun and
I love
stupid. I've
Army
never
of
seen it before, and my god, is that movie an acid
Movie's
trip?
so good. You
The
primitive
the
fucks.
the movie solves the problem of should we cast Bruce Campbell as the hero or the villain of this film by
Both.
saying yes.
Yeah.
That movie features one of the most the one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in a horror movie when he is trying to decide between the 3 books to figure out which one is the correct book.
Face keeps contorting.
And it turns out that all 3 books are bad.
Yeah.
Incredible. Love that movie. Recommend it to everybody.
Yeah.
My number 7
Yeah.
is Nightbreed.
Oh, good choice.
I
I fucking
Oh.
love this movie. Tom, you also watched
Yeah.
this one on my suggestion.
Zach and I
Tom,
gave
take
each
it
other
away.
homework over the
I
last
would.
year.
I feel like I would have had the last two entries if I spent more than an hour putting my list together.
Hey, that means your
Ugh.
list next year will be more robust, and that'll be cool.
Yeah. That's also less homework if you decide to do the eventually we're gonna have watched everything that's on all of these lists.
Oh,
Uh
so far, just your weird thing is the only thing I haven't watched.
You know what, Zach? Let's drive through our list so Taco, you can bail if you need to, and then we can
Yeah,
like
and then we
spend a
can-
little bit more time
good call,
talking
good
about
call,
that.
good call. I agree. My number 6 was The Invisible Man 2020.
Yeah, very good
Oh
choice.
yeah, that's good movie, man.
I don't know if that one's really a Halloween movie for me, but
Yeah,
you know, I know what's higher on your list, so
it's so
fuck
much
it.
more about stalking and mental days and so much more. But yeah, I mean, it fits and it is scary.
I like a variety of things, which is why my 5 and 4 are both like controversial.
Oh, cool.
They
Let's
were
get
like
to
the
'em.
least Halloweeny parts of my list, and they're right in the middle.
Right.
My number 5 is A Scanner Darkly, which I think is one of the scariest films in like what makes me feel existential dread sort of
Fuck
way.
that fucking movie.
Yeah.
Fuck you for
Okay.
making me watch that
I-
fucking movie.
I like A Scanner Darkly. Again, it's yeah, you're going with the existential dread of
Yeah,
addiction and all that.
yeah. My number 4, which Tom gave me a lot of shit for, but I think is a perfectly fine thing to watch for on Halloween, is Jaws.
Yeah,
What?
that's a summer movie.
It's a summer movie, but it's a fucking a Halloween movie also. Much
Water
like you
around
can
here
watch
is frozen on Halloween.
you could much like you can watch A Nightmare Before Christmas on Halloween or Christmas. You can watch Jaws on Halloween or the 4th of July. It combines the spirit of both.
You know
I live
what?
in a frozen wasteland, so watching any like it snowed today. It's October 27th. It snowed.
It was almost 80 degrees here in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Jaws
See,
walked by my office.
I can't watch a movie about the beach when it's like frozen hell out there.
Fair.
Yeah.
Tom,
All right,
you're
Zach,
10. You're
I'm gonna
10
hit
through
you. I'm gonna hit you with
4.
mine. Zach, do you already have the list pulled up?
I do.
Would you mind?
Tom?
Yes.
Yeah, your number 10 was Us.
Oh, fuck
Okay.
yeah. Us is great.
All right.
Us is great.
I introduced that as this is going to be a controversial pick because it's not the most popular by this director, but I love this movie. I think
No,
this
but it
movie is
absolutely
incredible.
isn't bad, and there's a lot of really good stuff about it.
It's we were talking about aesthetics a little while ago. It is the Jordan Peele movie with the aesthetics that kind of get me the most. It's got all of this like almost fairy tale down the rabbit hole kind of bullshit, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I
think
have
that
yet to
movie's
watch it.
awesome.
It was going to be next on my to watch list, and I didn't get around to it. It was the Bubble one that I didn't get to when working through your stuff.
That's okay.
Next
I
year.
like the ones you picked.
Good. Your number 9 was Wreck.
Oh hell yeah. Wreck is the scariest zombie movie.
Yeah, Wreck is amazing.
Yeah.
In I like its American counterpart, Quarantine. I do.
Yep.
But Wreck is so freaking good.
Yep.
A lot of that series is good.
Yep. Nothing wrong with Quarantine. I love Quarantine. If you're the kind of person who doesn't like subtitles, who doesn't like foreign films,
Yeah. Quarantine will be fine.
Quarantine is totally fine. Nothing wrong with it. But if Wreck can be your jam, make it your jam. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
Number 8 for you was A Quiet Place.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. Monster film. Absolutely scary.
Yeah.
Very suspenseful.
Oh yeah. It's a good date movie.
Yeah. I guess. Why?
Well, because like it necessitates like quietness and closeness. So like it's a very snuggly movie.
Yeah.
I could buy that.
Yeah. All right. So Tom, you want to snuggle and watch a horror movie?
I would snuggle and watch a horror movie. Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm kind of chunky, so I'm really warm. I'm a big heater. I'm fun to cuddle with. Little soft.
Good.
All right. 7.
Tom, your number 7 was It, 1990. which was actually
So I had a conversation with my wife about it because I almost put it on, but we decided because it's technically not a movie, I didn't put it on.
Ooh,
well, the wonderful thing is we make the rules for our own list, and
I
Tom
know.
decided it
You're
1990
goddamn
is a
right.
movie.
Right. It's fantastic. I do love it. And hey, at least we got more Tim Curry.
and like
Of course,
he's this is one of my favorite types of horror movies. A horror movie where everyone is in a horror movie except for the villain, who is just having a wonderful time.
uh,
I
your
feel
number
that way
6
about-
was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I've watched a ton of horror movies lately. I watched Leprechaun, the entire Leprechaun series recently, and in Leprechaun,
And Warwick Davis is never in a horror movie.
oh, he's always having a great time, except for
Oh,
the
yeah.
fifth one when he's kind of in a horror movie, which makes the movie very bad.
Which one's the fifth one?
In the Hood one.
Back to the Hood,
Oh,
you
yep,
said
yep.
was better.
Back to
Yeah,
the
Back
Hood
to the
is
Hood
fucking
is better.
awesome. Back to the
Back
Hood
to
is
the
think-
Hood is my favorite.
I think you said
yeah.
Back to the Hood was what you wanted Into Hood to be.
correct.
Yeah,
That sounds like a ringing endorsement to me.
Back to the Hood's the best. 3 is probably my second.
I agree with you. I have those two flipped around.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool. Works.
Give me number
Two is
six.
the one with the which was the one where he's taking on scammers.
That is number 2.
Yep.
Which is probably my if I pay, because that movie's like made for me. It's like close up magic and fucking scams. It's great.
The performance in 2 of Bridget is insane.
Oh yeah.
That actress isn't in any movie. Like, she is doing something new.
Oh my god.
She's discovering new places.
That movie is the one that has a leprechaun trick a man into thinking that
motorboating an
Yep.
like a propeller.
that a pair of fan blades are a person's boobs, and he goes in for it.
Oh, it's
Incredible.
So good. All right, we're not talking about
what a
Leprechaun.
ringing endorsement. I have to watch that. Tom,
So good.
your number 6 was Cabin in the Woods.
Oh hell yeah.
Oh,
Cabin in the Woods.
yes. God, dude, I love your list.
Yeah, I got a lot of funny ones on mine.
The Cabin.
I want to remake
Point,
my
point,
list.
point of order: The Cabin in the Woods.
Oh,
Joss Whedon will
you're
kill you
right.
in your
Thank you.
sleep.
We're on the internet. Someone would correct me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perhaps it is perhaps the best parody movie to ever exist that is
Oh,
also
absolutely.
extremely good, just like in its genre. It's just a good horror movie. It's great.
Bradley, was it Whitfield?
Oh, Whitford from
Whitford.
The West Wing.
Bradley Whitford and frickin' Ken Jenkins. Dynamite.
They
like,
make that fucking movie.
make that movie. In the rest of the cast is amazing too.
Oh
but
hell yeah!
holy, Tequila is my lady.
Pre Marvel Chris Hemsworth, by the way.
Oh yeah, they put that movie out after Thor did good because it was filmed 3 years before it came out.
That movie is incredible.
Yeah, they were just put it on the shelf, and then when people knew who Chris Hemsworth was, they were like, "Do we have some Joss Whedon Chris Hemsworth movie like on the shelf?" And that's why they put it out. And it ended up being easily one of my favorite horror movies of all time. Even one of my favorite movies. Yeah,
Zach, what's my number
20.
5?
Number 5.
Your number 5, which I just watched today,
Hell
is
yeah.
the original Scream, 1996.
Punt.
Respectable.
Oh boy,
Respectable.
respectable.
Punt.
We will talk about that for sure.
We'll hold on
I-
Scream.
That movie fucking rocks, as it turns out.
Yeah.
And
So
your
yeah,
number 4.
Literally, the first time you watched Scream was this morning.
That's
That's true.
insane.
That's awesome.
I
I'm
thought-
so glad
I
you're
knew-
here.
I knew I had seen
That's
parts
insane.
of some Scream movie. I think I had watched a scene from that one, and then like the back half of one of the sequels on like cable at some point.
I
We're gonna talk
I
about
made
the
my
sequels.
wife, me and my wife, she's watched the first one like a long time ago, and that's all we did. Like, I made her watch it maybe like 5 years ago, but we went through all of them when they put the new one on streaming. I said, honey, I'm going to spend this week watching all the Scream movies. Do you want to do it with me, or should I do it when you're not around? She's like, no, let's do it. And we watched them all in 1 week, and it was a good week.
Fuck yeah.
What a good week.
So good.
We'll punt on that.
Yep.
Thank
Tom,
you.
your number 4 was Color Out of Space, which I
Yeah.
also watched today.
Ooh,
And that movie
Oh.
also fucking rocks for different reasons.
the
Yes.
Schmodown's Brendan Meyer is in that. Really, really, really good body horror.
Oh yeah.
Like, and if
Yeah.
you're gonna do a Lovecraft, do some good body horror. It's
Oh,
not the
hell
best
yeah.
body horror on all three of our lists put together.
I-
But it's up there.
This spot, I had to put some cosmic horror in here, and it was between this one and Annihilation.
Yeah, this is definitely scarier than Annihilation.
Oh, that's an interesting take. Ooh,
I
interesting.
think so.
I-
I think this is scarier than Annihilation.
I think this one's a little bit like sillier. It's kind of light for me.
I loved it from like a film as a visual medium. This makes the most out of being
Okay,
film
never mind.
than most
No, I'm taking
horror.
back. Yeah.
Most horror films I know are like good with some visual tricks. This one knows every visual trick in the book it can pull and pulls all of them.
Never
It
mind. I
is
just
it is incredible.
realized the Annihilation, like whatever you want to call it, lighthouse scene when she's
Yeah.
just talking to the other or communicating with it, just being around it.
Oh, yeah.
That is some scary,
One of
completely messed up
one
stuff.
of the most existentially terrifying endings to a movie I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I loved it.
That
loved
movie
it. I watched that
fucking
movie
rocks.
super late. Yeah, sometime last year around this time, I did not every, but horror movie monsters or just monster movie like horror monsters Pokemon typing,
Nice.
and I did the Pokemon typing for the Annihilation Bear. And that's
the
when I
bear?
first watched it. Yeah, the bear.
Is it Grass Dark?
I think it was Dark Ghost,
That's fair.
but I can't remember.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can't remember though.
I swapped in Color Out of Space for Annihilation, because this is a list of like recommendations, and if I'm gonna recommend a movie, I want you to have a good time watching it most of the time. And Annihilation is an upsetting movie for me.
Yeah, it's very
So it's in the honorable mentions, but I swapped in Color Out of Space because I like watching Nicolas Cage go fucking crazy.
Yeah. All right,
right.
your final. Oh, that was your final.
That's it. So now,
All right, cool.
How about
We can talk about. Is it my three?
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, why don't we do your three first?
All right, cool. We can talk about Scream now.
Let's go.
Woo! So
Zach, talk about
I
Scream.
just watched this one most recently. I want to say, I always had this described to me as a horror comedy with a lot of emphasis placed on the comedy, when in actuality,
It is not.
this is a horror film written by a genius who knows that you've watched more than one horror film in your life, that you're aware of the concept of a slasher, and
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No.
you
I
go.
want you. I thought you were done and you weren't.
No. You're aware of the concept of a slasher, and it does so well using like all the things you're aware of to mess with you a little bit, but to also tell a compelling story that is fun. It's cheeky. It makes fun of horror movies a lot, but it also plays it straight in a way that's like compelling.
Yeah.
It's a little tongue in cheek about it, but it uses that to tell a really like interesting story about how we like it's about bias. It's about preconceived notions of who done it, in a crime. It uses the fact that you have preconceived biases from having seen a horror film before to give you false leads that you go down, so it can categorically strike all of them down.
I'm gonna get some shit. I'm gonna get some shit for my takes on Undertale after that.
You said it. You said it really well. But what I wanted to say, what you pretty much just said, but it somehow manages to make commentary and at the same time be a compelling movie in the genre that it's making meta commentary of.
Absolutely.
Where it's going, hey, aren't slasher films dumb? Well, I'm gonna make you terrified in this slasher film, by the way. Like, it's poking fun as it's poking you, and it is so good. And also, Matthew Lillard is a tour de force as Stu Macher. He was robbed at the Oscars.
I'm getting woozy here.
You hit me with a
He's
phone.
such a good actor.
So
we love
my mom and dad are gonna be so
street.
mad at me.
He was plucked off the street because the casting director saw him at a grocery store, and it said, "You look like you should be in this movie. Like, you look like who I was thinking for Stu Macher. Are you an actor?" And he goes, "Yeah." And she's like, "Who's your agent?" And she called the agent and got him in there, and that's how he got it.
Wow.
He wasn't in anything yet. Like, he didn't do anything yet. He was just, she just saw him like, that's Stu Macher. And it is. And I shipped Stu and Billy so hard.
Yeah, I
They
kind of
are
do too.
adorable gay couple. I
Now,
love them.
I ship Stu with Billy. I do not ship Billy with Stu. I don't
Yeah,
think that Billy. I think that
a
Billy
good
just
couple.
hates everyone.
Yeah. One of them has a crush. The other has hatred for humanity.
Yeah, one of them
Yeah.
has a crush. The other one has a gun.
Um,
Zach, I'm so
peer
glad you like this
pressure.
movie. By the way,
Far too
I, I
acceptable.
I didn't know what to expect other than I knew it was going to satirize slashers. I was like, is it going to be like too tongue in cheek? But it's the perfect balance, right?
yeah,
It's the
Yeah.
perfect balance of you. Yeah, Undertale's a good comparison, Tom. Undertale's like, I know you played a JRPG before, and I'm going to use that to fuck with you a little bit, because it proves the point of what I'm trying to say. The like this is like how I would teach people about like how to explain the fact that you have implicit biases that you just go blind to is fucking Scream.
Yeah.
Scream puts all these things in front of you, knowing that you have seen certain horror movies before, knowing that it will shade how you view this one, only for you to be so fucking wrong. Because I predicted all the wrong killers in this whodunit. They did
Really?
everything possible to be fair, at first I kind of thought, oh, it could be Billy, couldn't it? But lo and behold, they did everything to the trick me into not thinking that,
Mm-hmm.
including fake killing him off. Because oh no, he can't. If he dies now, he can't be the killer, sort of thing.
Can,
It's
can
it's so good. It's so
All right.
we
smart.
can all
It's so
agree
clever.
that
it's fucking
Skeet
awesome.
Ulrich is still just as hot as he was back then too.
Yeah,
Like
because
his as Jughead's dad in Riverdale, I'm like, sub Skeet.
I'm not
He's
gonna talk
a
about it at
50-year-old
length,
man.
but I am in love with the last two Scream movies.
Oh
I
yeah,
I think they're
I'm
both
not in
awesome.
love, but I'm seeing them casually.
They're good. They're good, right? Like we
I mean,
can
they're
like
better. They're better than 3,
that's for
but
sure.
before 4 was good. 3 did an amazing thing, which I'm not going to get into now. But I will just state they made one of the bad guys. They they made what's his name? The horrible freaking dude who ran Miramax, who's in prison now.
Oh, a Weinstein allegory.
They made a
Yeah.
Weinstein the villain in a Weinstein movie, and the Weinsteins didn't notice. The villain in 3, one of them, he's not the main villain or anything, but there's a guy in 3 who is a Weinstein. He's like literally says, "Oh, I did these horrible things to these women so they can be in the movies." And they made that in a Weinstein movie, and the Weinsteins didn't notice, and then they killed this character. I'm just
I
saying.
am
That makes the
hugely in
movie
favor
for
of.
me. Yeah, that makes the movie for me, even though it's not good. All right, let's
Zach,
move.
what's your number 2? Your number 3 rather.
My number three. My number three was Alien.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Uh,
Alien is
compelling
not
argument for greatest horror film ever made, but it's not my answer because there's two more. But if somebody told me Alien was their favorite movie, their favorite horror movie, or their favorite sci-fi movie, I would have zero arguments.
Yeah, I would. I don't have a lot of arguments for the first Alien. I do love the first Alien. It's something weird about it that it's like it's like Zeppelin. Like you can appreciate it and you know all it did for you, but I don't. You don't want to listen to it all the time.
We were actually having this conversation earlier during our Mori stream about where something where you like all the things that inspired, but the original thing itself doesn't quite
Yeah.
click for you.
Well, and it's funny because I like it. Like I enjoy it. I can watch it and I'm gonna enjoy it, but it just doesn't suck me in, and it just doesn't do it.
See, for me,
Like,
it does
yeah.
suck me in. So I
Good.
understand
I'm
why it wouldn't
glad.
click for everybody. I should also know all of my top three are perfect films by my like they're 10 out of 10s for me. Alien,
Um,
I guess Jaws is pretty fucking close, and
it's funny because out of my
Scanner
top
Darkly is
three,
two, but it's kind of like controversial that it's on this list in the first place.
yeah, it's
Sorry,
kind of
continue.
my my number 3. My number 1 is my least favorite out of them, but it is the most Halloween out of them.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
your number 3
Yeah,
on the
I
list,
know. I know my number.
which I
3.
watched and we'll talk about soon,
I
was
love.
Pumpkinhead.
I love my number 3.
Ooh, pumpkin.
Right. I had to put something. This is my Halloweeny
Oh
pick in the
yeah,
top,
buddy.
up here. It's Zach. You watched it for the first time recently. Give the folks at home the
Gotta love
briefest
Pumpkinhead,
plot
man.
synopsis of Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead is a story about a man whose kid is killed by really some reckless teenagers. One of whom is more like a committer of multiple felonies than mischievous,
Yeah.
but the rest of them
What
are mischievous.
one is a Stephen King bully, which
Yeah,
is code for serial killer.
yeah. He's a Stephen King bully, also known as a man who would commit war crimes if, like, you told him not to commit war crimes at a park bench on a Tuesday. He would
Yeah.
also start the war to commit them. Like Stephen King bullies are like monsters, but he's 1 second.
Yeah, it's
He,
like
he is his son is run over, so he goes to the spookiest witch possible to summon a demonic monster to eat all of them, and then finds out he's psychically bonded to the demonic monster, who is called Pumpkinhead for some reason.
For some reason.
It's a very deceptive title for a
And then
very Halloweeny movie.
the makeup artist goes, "How much makeup can we put on this actress? Let's see."
Yes.
The witch is like jacked out. But yeah, no, I love the first one. I just love Pumpkinhead in general. Talk about diminishing returns. All those, like, every movie after the first one's almost unwatchable. Second one's almost watchable if you are just okay with it being awful. But
I did in one of our Omori streams make my pitch for a sequel, which I think would be the best sequel out of all of them, but I've seen none of the sequels, so I don't know.
Okay.
Where it's a multi-billionaire being hunted down by Pumpkinhead, so he has all the resources in the world to try and run, and it's just following him around the entire globe.
Oh,
I love this.
That's my pitch.
all right.
All right,
Taco,
tell me
your
about
number
your
two.
number 2.
Greatest horror movie of all time.
No fucking way.
Greatest horror movie of all time. Not really a Halloween movie.
No fucking way.
It is the
Go for
greatest horror movie of all
This is
time.
not about to happen.
It is directed by John Carpenter.
Motherfucker.
Nice.
Starring Kurt Russell.
Motherfucker.
Yep.
And
It's about
How
to
is
happen.
this possible?
It has the absolute best, not only just effects and body horror, but yeah, the best special effects of all time, in my opinion.
Jesus fucking
Especially in
Christ.
body horror. It is, of course, The Thing.
We're
He
not
was
beating the
timing it
white
before
dude
Run.
allegations.
I can't believe that this happened, Zach.
Again, I can't believe it happened again.
Is it-
Guess
is it
what
your
our number
one
2
or
is?
number 2? Yeah.
No,
Zach,
both of us
tell me
also
what your
put
number
the thing
2
at number
is.
2. My number 2 is The Thing.
My number 2 is also The Thing.
No way! No way! Was it the same reasoning? Like, it's the greatest horror
Oh,
movie
yeah,
of all time,
absolutely.
but it's not a
Yeah,
Halloween movie.
100%, yeah.
Do we all have the same number 1 then?
Oh no, I watched this around Halloween. To me, like, if it's a good enough horror movie, like watching
No.
it during Halloween is
You guys
a
haven't
worthy
said my
endeavor.
number 1, so
No.
I have to believe
Hang on.
either you guys don't know what Halloween is, or
I think you're
it's
gonna line
everybody's
up with
number
Tom
one.
on number
Yeah,
1.
I'm gonna guess that you have the same number 1 as me, but Zach and I do not have the same. So,
Okay.
do you want to take a stab at what Zach's might be?
I don't need to talk about The Thing, but it is so
bro,
freaking
it's
good.
fucking
We
incredible.
talked about it. I think we talked about it enough. It's
Oh,
I'm
incredible.
literally
It's some of the best effects
reviewing it
ever.
on somebody's show like next week.
I can't believe that lined up at number 2 again.
That's so great. That's so great, guys. Kurt freaking Russell. What is your number 1 then?
Zach,
I don't
Zach,
wanna
why don't
take
you go
guess.
first?
Yeah, go
My
ahead.
number 1 is the let me get the year right. The 2018 remake of Suspiria.
Weird.
I
For
fucking
Halloween?
adore that movie. Oh
I
yeah,
like
I'll watch
it,
that on Halloween. It's
but
spooky as fuck. It's about witches.
Is it weird that I think it's inferior to the first?
I can understand why someone would like the first better, as someone who has not seen the entirety
But
of
I
the
just
first.
like, you
but-
know, I got high on shrooms and watched the first one in
Yeah.
art school. You know, you know, it's like a thing.
No, yeah.
Just
If
like
you
the
that is
thing.
a great, like, if you are having a stoned Halloween, the 77 Suspiria, 100% on
It's
your
the
watch
only
list.
time I've ever seen somebody stab a exposed heart.
Yeah.
Like the chest is ripped open and the heart's beating, and they just stab the heart directly. So good.
Now I have
the,
also only watched I've only watched the 1977 one.
I've
Um,
watched the remake.
and I can say that I have no idea what that movie is about.
2018 is a very long watch, but
Yeah.
you'll understand
It is
exactly what they're
clear.
going for by
It
the
is
end. Yeah.
definitely a
And,
more well put together film.
and
The
it has a
remake.
very like it has a like moral to it and a like message to it that is so unique
And it's
and
less of a
nuanced.
fever dream.
It's
Yeah.
less of a fever dream. It's making arguments about like feminism in a really compelling and interesting way. It's making arguments about society and the way we treat other people and you know power dynamics. It's like got a lot going on under the hood, and
in
it's
in
all
the
very
hood.
compelling
It's
without
in the
ever
hood.
losing sight of
Yeah,
it being a
back to the
movie.
hood.
It's a movie that never loses sight of the fact that it's about witches and dance. It never loses sight of all that. Like it's balancing so many things, and it does it all incredibly well. And it's one of those movies that makes me mad as a filmmaker that I probably as someone like I don't talk about this a lot. I used to make a lot of short films. I have like an old archive of like the cheapest shit short films that I used to make. I can't do that as much anymore. That's a passion I'd like to return to. It's one of my resolutions for this year. Uh, fucking, it makes me mad. I have never come close to that level of compelling, and it drives me to be better at all my writing and media creation.
That's
I,
awesome.
this is a
It's
wonderful,
a great
beautiful
film.
take, Zach. I like this.
All
And
Yes.
right.
and this is the only one on Zach's list that I have still not seen. This year, this Halloween season, I watched A Scanner Darkly, Nightbreed, and Army of Darkness for the first time, and I haven't gotten to Suspiria because it's 2.5 hours long.
You did also watch Hellraiser, which we should talk about also,
True.
but we
True.
have to get through everybody's number one
The
first.
only thing on all of these lists I haven't seen is the Marvel Hornets.
That's incredible.
Oh. Marble Hornets is very good.
I watch movies, yo. I
Watch
don't
Marble
fuck
Hornets.
around,
It's
man.
all on YouTube. Just power through it. It's
Right?
it's great. And honestly, it's another one of those things that makes me want to get out there and just film something because they
Oh
just
yeah.
did that. They just knew where to film and they shot that with like little budget and a dream. And I gotta say, respect.
All
That's
right.
great.
All right,
So same
Taco.
film?
Time to see if we have the same film. You want to say it or you want me to?
2007.
Oh shit,
Oh
we have different
no.
movies.
Uh-oh. Well, that's messed up that this isn't on your guys'
Let,
list.
let me. You want me to go first, or do you want to be the closer?
Well, go ahead. I don't care.
No, no, no.
Right.
Tom, you go first. What was your number one?
This is without a doubt the most Halloweeny movie on anybody's list here.
Beetlejuice?
100%. It is
Yeah.
Ghostbusters.
Oh, what? Okay. Okay. I could see it, but mine is more Halloweeny.
I don't think that Ghostbusters is not a scary movie. It is not the
No.
best movie on any of our lists, but my god, is it fucking fun.
It's
Honestly, if you said Ghostbusters is your favorite movie of all time, I would not argue with you.
Absolutely.
If you said it's
I
the
would
best
be
movie
like,
ever
good
made,
choice.
I would not argue with you.
no, because you're probably a weird, crazy libertarian or something.
Well, they do clown on the guy from the EPA, but it's not like they don't also clown on literally everybody else in the
That's true.
movie.
They
Well,
do clown on
okay,
dogs
it's
and cats living together.
it once you bring in the second one, it makes the second one turns Ghostbusters into small business libertarian government bad.
This is
Okay, yeah,
coming
but
Pairing
the
it
from an
second
with
one
one.
sucks
acute.
and you don't need to watch it. 'Cause the second
I don't
one,
hate the
yes
second
and
one.
no. The
Das
second one,
Weasel.
the second one, like when they're being old and schlubby and they suck at everything, it's great.
Yeah, that's
But
good.
the I don't know. The narrative of it is just great. The idea that like it just becomes a job to them. Mwah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Zach,
Let's get to
There
your
is a
number
lot
one,
of.
hang on.
Can I say something really existential
yes,
about Ghostbusters?
Sure.
please.
So when I wake up in the morning, every morning, I have a clip from a movie in my head. It's from Ghostbusters, and I'm not in control of it. And it's not a funny quote. It's not a, and this is literally every day. I wake up and hear, "Whoa, somebody's coming." Somebody's in Bill Murray's voice. I hear Bill Murray go, "So be good for goodness sake. Whoa, somebody's coming."
So be
It's
good for goodness sake. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
it's when he's in the jail and they're talking about everything that's coming. He just says that, but I just get it in my head. It speaks to me literally every morning, and I don't know why. It's just I could tell you when in my getting out of bed cycle it hits. It's always right when I get out. I grab my glasses, my phone. I'm walking around the bed. I hear "So be good for goodness sake" in my head from Bill Murray, and I don't know why.
I say,
Save
um,
me.
I say, um, Ray Stantz going. It just popped in there.
Yeah.
Like on a weekly basis.
Oh, that's my daughter waking up in the middle of the night. So
Uh-oh.
Oh. Oh
Uh-oh.
shit.
Do you have
Can
time to give your number one
wait,
before you
wait,
leave?
wait, wait. She might be good. She quieted. I didn't mute her, audience. Okay, she just stopped making noise and just shut it off. You freaks. Yeah, you guys are complete insane, or you've never seen it that you don't have 2007's Trick or Treat on your frickin'
Oh,
Halloween list.
that was on my
You
honorable
stupid,
mentions.
brain dead imbeciles. You
Trick
guys
or
probably
treat
think Robert
2007.
Strong is actually a guy named Robert Strong.
Wait,
You
he isn't? I
idiot.
thought he was related to the guys from the
Yeah.
Ants.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
Larry's kid, right?
Yeah, he's hilarious. Yeah, he's stupid. Trick or Treat is a treat. It is a beautiful, violent vignette with werewolves and Sam the pumpkin head kid who just murders anyone without Halloween spirit. Brian Cox is in it, makes a cameo, and has a fight with him. It's so good. It's so
Uh,
fucking good.
would you like to know something fun about Trick or Treat? I
Huh.
I saw that for the first time last year.
Wow.
Yeah. That
I
this,
think it was about 2018
this
or
movie
no, 2008 or 9 when I first saw it.
this movie fucking rocks.
This
The
movie rules,
the
dude.
dude burying the kid in the backyard and arguing with his kid in the window.
Yeah, Daniel Baker or Dylan Baker, who's a character actor you'll see pop up, has a tour de force as the evil murdering principal
Oh
in
hell
it,
yeah.
where it's so freaking good. It starts off with him talking to the big curly haired kid from Bad Santa, and he's like talking about how he shouldn't eat candy,
Oh yeah,
and
Tiny Jonah Hill.
he's feeding him poison chocolate, and then the guy just vomits out his insides.
Oh, that is fucking
He
disgusting.
cuts his head off, and carves it into a jack-o'-lantern. I love that movie.
That movie is
So
very
good.
fun, and that is an extremely Halloweeny movie.
It's
Yes.
all Halloween.
That's
That's why
great.
it beat The Thing is a better movie. Scream is a better movie. Witch is a better movie. Halloween 3 is not a better movie. But 3 through 4 of my list are better movies, but they are not better Halloween movies. Trick or Treat is. Trick or Treat is the Halloween movie, in my opinion.
I think that's a great choice. I give it up to Ghostbusters for sure. That is the when it starts to get to Halloween time, you know, when the leaves start changing in the back of my brain, something goes bam 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 bam.
I'm surprised you guys didn't have more kids friendly movies. Because my wife said I was stupid for not having Hocus Pocus on, but I just never grew up with Hocus Pocus. We've now watched it twice this Halloween season already. Um, and I just thought it would be on your guys' list. And also, I watched all 3 Halloween Towns with my
Oh
daughter
shit.
a couple weeks ago.
Maybe I should
They do
have
not hold
Halloween
up, and they're
Town.
not good. But
Are they
the first
fun?
one's okay. The first one's fun.
Oh my god, Halloween Town 4, a motherfucker goes to college.
There is a 4th one. I
Yeah.
just didn't watch that
I
one.
remember these. Oh,
The
those
3rd one was Halloween High,
yeah.
and it could have been the best one, but they fumbled it really hard. Because they had all these Halloween kids going to high school, but they decided like how interesting that would be. They decided not to give any of the Halloween kids personalities or lines. I was like, oh, you fumbled it.
Oh my
Like,
god.
I want to know what it's like for a Wolfman to play basketball or whatever.
Zach,
Not Teen Wolf, but yeah.
is it time for a Halloween Town speedrun?
Yeah.
Maybe it is.
We just did it. I literally just have it in my house.
Okay.
I respect all your guys' lists. I know you more as people now.
Yes.
I need to go to bed, but
Fair.
this is great. This is fantastic.
Yeah, thank you very
Yeah.
much for hanging out. I like your list a lot.
Are you guys gonna combine them, or what are you doing when I leave?
And
I think we're going to talk about
some-
what we watched from each other's lists. We're going to
Alright.
talk about whether one of my picks is bullshit or whether mine fits the spirit of the holiday. We're going to talk about children getting run over by motorcycles.
Yep.
Cool.
I have
Sweet.
a couple new movies that I watched that I had never watched before, like Hellraiser and like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I had never watched either before, and like those should certainly be in the honorable mentions.
Yeah, again, those are movies I don't quite consider Halloween movies, especially not Texas Chainsaw because it just has such a sweaty summer feel. It's just such a gross turn on the AC please movie.
Man, that movie's insane.
But it is an art piece, and the filming of that movie is scarier than the movie itself. Like they strapped these people into chairs in a 140-degree freaking room with rotting meat and made them do these scenes, and they kept passing out and throwing up, and then just kept filming. And it's absolutely nuts. But anyways, thank you guys for having me on, and yeah, you I wanted to say something, but I don't want it to be in the middle of this because I don't know where you guys are putting this out. But yeah, I hope to have you guys possibly on streaming. I think one of you guys said possible, and the other guy said he can't on this Thursday, and that's all. But
yeah, absolutely.
It's a definite maybe for me.
Okay.
But don't be surprised if it ends up being a no. This
Okay.
Thursday is we'll say it's a very important work week for me.
Okay. I don't
We'll
want
leave it
to.
ambiguous still.
I don't want to take a
Leave it
bit more
ambiguous,
time.
but like everybody's figured it out.
I don't want to take a bit more time of the audience who don't know what we're talking about. So it's all good.
That's
But
right.
you
that's
guys
right.
have a good one, and I'm gonna get out of here and get some sleep. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Absolutely.
Oh, thank
Have
you
a
for
great
joining
night,
us. It was a
dude.
blast.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye.